Hello, welcome to this next section of Mastering FIFA 16. So we've started off by playing a very level playing field in terms of the American level. So what we're going to do this time is we're going to create a new tournament. Play. As we can see, new tournament. So I'm going to go to England because I can do that quite easily. Do the FA Cup, and I'll choose. So obviously it's going to be teams with 5 stars. What we'll do is we're going to go for a team of about 2 to 2.5. I want to see where are we? Where are they? Yeah, Mills are 3. Okay, expect them to be a bit lower. Luton Town 2.5. Leeds, Ipswich. Yeah, always a difficult one trying to decide what team to do. Doncaster, Coventry. Yeah, we'll go Coventry. Don't know why. Actually, wait. I'm not going to choose Coventry. I'm going to choose a London club. I'm going to choose Charlton, but that seems a bit wrong. I'll sell it. What I'll do, I'm going to go down. I'll choose the first 2.5 star that I get to. There you go, Bradford C. So only Bradford. So what I'll do is I'm going to try and play in the FA Cup. Obviously still playing the same level, semi-pro, but see what I can do against obviously teams that would be better. Now it's the wonderful thing about the I might as well just scroll over there. Yeah, Emirates FA Cup. I didn't realise it was Emirates FA Cup now. So it's going to be quite a few rounds actually, bloody hell. So it's quite a long tournament. I've forgotten, as I probably says, obviously that I'm coming in level 1, so that'll be something that I need to change. So let's just get on with it and get the game playing. So it's definitely, I mean, this is the one where it's really going to test me on defence, especially when I'm going up against teams that are fast. Yeah, I suppose. Teams that are a lot better than me, so it's something that we'll have to have a look in as time goes on. So again, I'm not doing the skill things to begin with. Even though I might as well try that. That was going to be lobbed over, but yeah, I will do those in the next sections, I think. So just to see.
Say much more than that, Alan. No, you don't. The papers have been full of it. The town has been buzzing here this week, so I'm expecting a really good game.
It's a long old tournament actually. I think it would be maybe better to try the non-league team, but I think trying against the now obviously there are a few issues with this in terms of that the players haven't got as much ball control, as much skill, so it can be quite a test actually, just to test your basic skills. They're not as quick obviously, which is quite an important factor, but again, it's a nice test to see how good some of these teams are and how good obviously that I can be. It might be one step a bit too far ahead for me, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Or obviously at the lower levels, to be honest, I'm going to be playing against teams that are basically my basic level, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue, but we'll see as time goes on. There was a time when Bradford were in the Premiership. So it was quite a long time ago, and it's always one of those funny things when you look at teams and you think, I didn't realise they were that low, or I didn't realise they were that position in the table anymore. Back heel didn't work. Really a nice goal, but obviously not to be. But again, I suppose if you think of teams like Nottingham Forest and stuff like that, they were at one point the best team one of the best teams in Europe, and now they're sort of languishing down. So it's an interesting thing when they say that clubs are too big to go down. That's never true. Every team can be relegated. It's happened to Man United. Obviously they did bounce back up, but obviously I think nowadays though, with the money that's in, it's probably a bit harder for some of the bigger clubs to go down because they can just buy their way out of trouble, but we'll see, I suppose. Slightly wide. Nothing too major there, but we'll see. Now I was actually contemplating PES this season, but I keep on reading reports about how bad it is on PC. We'd be quite interested to see. Hey, good goal. Nice easy finish.
Has he hit a harder shot than that today? But to find the bottom line, that's brilliant.
Yeah. So it'd be quite interesting to see if obviously that's the other thing as well. Though of course that the goalkeepers won't be as good. So there's quite a few pluses and bonuses at this level, but we'll see. So yeah, I was thinking about I bought Pez last year and it wasn't that great, and everyone says that Pez is brilliant this year, except for the fact that on the PC it feels more of like a 360/PlayStation 3 port, and that's something that's a bit irritating. Obviously, I mean the Fox engine, which is the engine they use for Fox's Kojima Studio, so it's the stuff that they use for Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain, a new one, and also Ground Zeroes and stuff. So it sounds like it's got a lot of power, but that's a bit irritating if it is like that. Now again, I haven't played it, so I can't comment, but I'm going to look to see. Obviously, if they patch it and it gets better, then I might think about going back into PES as well, because PES used to be my game. I was an international superstar soccer fan, which is the precursor to PES, and then obviously FIFA started getting better and better and better, which is why I went back to FIFA. And also at that time PES was just dropping down, just wasn't as good. Yeah, great goal. So it seems like quite a... I think if it gets too easy, obviously that's a bit of a problem, so I may skip games if they become too easy, but we'll see. Those 6 shots on target and they've had 1 now, which is cool. That's fine, at least they've had... that was a mistake. I'm still not a fray. I'm playing, obviously as you can see, because there's no markings that would be there if it was a mouse and keyboard. I'm playing with a 360 controller. I'm still not used to it. I'm very much used to a PlayStation controller, so it's not an excuse, but the feel of it just feels strange in my hands. I don't quite understand. I can understand why people grow up with it. It's all about motion, muscle memory, and knowing what it feels like. But I know to me it just feels a bit top heavy. The weight feels that it comes down a bit too much. Obviously, having a battery doesn't help and stuff, but and batteries is in AAs. So it's stolen away. Oh come on, that's 4 players. That's ridiculous. Oh. Maybe we should try the 1 star, but I don't feel that comfortable. Especially not in the later stages, so we'll see. Now obviously if this goes well, then we'll look into next time about again moving up and just playing around with the actual patterning, about whether I should move into a higher level. Oh, that was a good stop. Obviously we'll leave that till the time comes. That was an awful header. Oh, injury. Got taken off. Trainer. No, not trainer. That one. So who's injured then? Let's say who's injured. So the little plaster there denotes an injury, so I'll swap it for Davis there. 67 for a 62. Okay. Maybe I should have a look at the actual who's playing what as opposed to.
Paul Anderson, substitution that the home side want to make. Little.
or a bit too close to the keeper. Try a substitution coming at half time. Oh, oh, that was good. Saving a great block.
This is where substitutes are important. Who and when.
I think the FA Cup's always been one of those sort of tournaments that you just, obviously growing up in England, you always hear. But it's always interesting about when players come over and they say they've been watching the FA Cup for years and it's the most interesting cup, which I always think's, sometimes you take that with a pinch of salt, but it's always quite gives you a nice warm glow to know the fact that, you know, something that's basically an English institution is just, you know, people like it around the world, which is quite cool. Oh, obviously now with the Premier League, it's beamed all around the world, and there's so much money in it. It's a different thing, but there's something quite, you know. I'm an Arsenal fan. Obviously, I think I mentioned that before, but you know, I can still remember Arsenal getting beaten by Wrexham, Mickey Thomas scoring goals, and how much of a big, you know, a big deal that was. And I think that's the wonderful thing about the cup. Obviously, is the lower teams being able to beat bigger teams all the time. The wonderful thing about a cold January morning, cold January afternoon, or Saturday, boggy pitch, and you know, these teams come out and absolutely just, you know, bully or, you know, play backs against the walls, and they beat a high level opposition, and it's always a lovely thing to watch, and that's something that football does have quite often. So, it's a good goal. Okay, he's a good player. Sound dropped off a bit there, don't know why. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, hat trick means probably should have. Yeah. Obviously, it's always that difficult one where, again, we are playing in the first round, we are playing against poor opposition, so that's something that, obviously.
The away team want to make a change.
But I definitely want to try to stop them from scoring. I think that's the main aim for today. We'll see. That was bad. That's fine. Shooting that far out is absolutely fine. That's over.
Following the corner, I don't know whether it was rehearsed, Alan. It didn't quite look right. Well, whether it was rehearsed or not, it wasn't a bad effort, and it didn't miss by much.
So far we've been uploading one video a day, something that we are going to think about doing in terms, so hopefully that will continue, but we shall see, Able
to make a good interception. Clark. Goes for goal! Still striving.
Okay, I'm struggling, come on.
That was a good effort, but it's going to be difficult. I think they needed that to go in all truth, didn't they, to have any chance in this match? We see a substitute coming on for the away team here.
Getting pulled out of shape too much. Good shot.
Really, to force that error when it came to the shot. It's a long way wide. Yeah, he just lost his shape completely and made a real hash of that strike.
Stop running, for God's sake.
That's a useful ball in. Well, they've wasted that crossing position, haven't they? Easily cleared. Davis.
Oh, that was too.
And that will peter out.
Went for driven past, but that didn't quite work. So it's not a bad setup, 4-4-2. I should be investigating teams before I start. I think when I start getting into the higher levels, I think I will always choose a team that I enjoy playing with. So. Almost. Keep on putting my players out of position, and they don't even have to do anything to it. I do it myself. I've got to stop doing that. It really irritates me. And not too far across. Trying to be clever again.
I did think that this would be one of the tightest games we've seen, Alan, but this could be it.
Oh, wide. Never go anywhere near.
Well, they're back defending and they've cut the pass out there, and maybe that will ease the pressure. Well, I'll be honest with you, these last few minutes have dragged a little bit from where we're sitting because the game as a contest is long over. All credit to the team that's winning. I'm afraid not too much credit to the other side.
It's interesting. I mean, obviously they're quite generic, some of the quotes, and the lower down the leagues you go, the more generic the commentary comes from. Martin Tyler and Alan Smith, and it's quite interesting. Obviously they've got so many teams to cover. They can't do all the names, so they'll just do this player and the team that's winning, as opposed to actually saying. But sometimes you just think, well, they could. It can't be that much. I think there's 92 clubs in the Premiership, in the English League. Sorry, so now I'm sure they could say each team, but maybe they do. It's just not something I've heard yet today. I suppose we'll see over the next few matches. Oh, too close to the keeper. Far too close. Now, see, for draws, I will do replays as well if there are any. I can't imagine losing now, but you know, if it comes down to it, I will play draws as well as format. I will play replays for draws. So. Oh. Cool, 3-0. A nice win. Nothing too flamboyant, nothing too crazy, but a nice, nice little settler in. I think as things go through. A few lapses in defence, and definitely, nothing. Not to say lucky, because most of it wasn't too bad. I mean, shots on target was the main thing, 10-4. I mean, that disco show. But again, possession was low, so that's something that I do have to get up on. My pass actually again, 71-85. I suppose I do play quite a lot of through balls, and some of those do miss, but I suppose we'll see as time goes on. So, thank you very much for watching. Have fun, take care, and we'll see you again.